Hey everyone, are you ready to step into a unique fitness journey where I share my top 3 reasons for still wearing barefoot shoes after 4 years? Well, join me because in this video you'll discover exactly how barefoot shoes revolutionized my approach to walking and running, but also revolutionized my overall health, strength and stability. So let's get into it. So reason number 1 is improved foot mechanics. Barefoot shoes, obviously, I've got my Vivos Barefoots here, but obviously have very little support and stability, which means they allow your feet to move very naturally. They also have a wide toe box, which is another key feature here. So your barefoot shoe is actually the same shape as your foot. And the idea is that this can actually help reduce pain and injuries, but the jury's still out there. So as soon as I went for a walk in my Vivos Barefoots, I felt my walking gait change immediately. Because you can't heel strike, or it's very painful to heel strike because there's no padding, you're forced to walk on your toes. And it was amazing to actually put these on for the first time and actually feel my body kind of relearning and changing to kind of match the new walking style. Obviously that's a far more natural way to walk because we didn't evolve to have big padded shoes on our feet. So it's been really interesting to feel the improved foot mechanics that you get from wearing barefoot shoes. I absolutely love not having any kind of material rubbing against my little toe. And it's quite interesting, prior to lockdown, I basically wore leather work shoes for 7 years. They're actually sold to you a little bit too small, I would say, because they say that if you have too much excess material over the top, they start to look scruffy because the material kind of sacks. So basically you're sold smart shoes with material basically rubbing up against your little toe, which is why you see so many people have, my little toe is actually a little bit kind of cramped in, and that makes me so sad because I basically have been wearing shoes that are just too small for me for many, many years. So it was actually revolutionary to try these on with the wide toe box and go for a walk and not feel any rubbing on my little toe. I love the flexibility and freedom that these shoes gave me so much that I actually am now transitioned to fully barefoot, so Vibram 5 fingers, which has just even more toe mobility. These are the most ultra lightweight ones going, I think. And so the kind of sensory inputs from your feet are even greater. I get some weird looks wearing these, but for me, it's so worth it. Now I'm a barefoot constant after 4 years. But yeah, you also have to get the socks to go with these, which I did. Haven't looked back, to be honest. So yeah, improved foot mechanics. On the kind of point that it helps reduce foot pain and injury, I think the jury's still out. I think there was a lawsuit against Vibram 5 fingers for making that claim a few years ago. I can personally say that I've not been injured wearing barefoot shoes, but I actually just did ramp it up very gradually through lockdown, started off walking. And if you read Daniel Lieberman's book, Exercise, he talks about how basically to avoid exercise while running long distances on hard surfaces, you basically need to tread lightly and quickly. And barefoot shoes essentially force you to do that. So you can still do that in normal shoes, but barefoot shoes kind of force you to tread lightly and quickly. Daniel Lieberman's obviously sometimes known as the barefoot doctor, so he's someone who might be potentially biased in that area, but he's done so much studying and they can't actually find a link between reduced foot pain and injury and barefoot shoes. But I would, based on my experience, support that notion. So reason number 2 is improved foot strength and calf strength. So in Chris McDougall's book, Born to Run, which is the book that arguably made barefoot running really popular, he talks about how your foot actually has the most natural load-bearing structure already built into it, and that's the arch. And everyone knows the arch is a ridiculously strong structure, but it's only strong when you push it from the bottom till the points kind of push together. Interestingly, the worst thing you can do to an arch is kind of push from beneath, which is actually what a lot of arch support does. So having barefoot shoes, they obviously have absolutely no arch support, which means that as you use them, your arch has to get much stronger. And I've definitely felt the benefits of that over time. Initially, when I first started walking barefoot shoes, my arch was so weak and that was what was cramping up. But over time, I found it to get stronger and stronger. I definitely feel a burn in my calves when I'm being for a long walk in my Vibram 5 fingers, just because it gives your toes that extra bit of kind of use, I would say. And since I've been rucking in my Vibram 5 fingers in these, I've definitely found that's been taken to a whole new level. So I'm really enjoying the calf burn. Feels very natural. And yeah, it's been such a great way to improve strength. I haven't actually tested my strength. So I've gradually been rocking with heavier weights over longer distances. And I've definitely felt the improvement in strength that's come with that. Or definitely felt the improvement in my ability to do that. So reason number 3 is that you get enhanced sensory feedback. This isn't the whole, grounding trend where there's this trend at the moment where you go outside barefoot, with no shoes at all and kind of feel the earth under your feet, which I actually quite like. It does feel nice. I particularly like it when when you've had a day at the beach and you've been walking on all the cobbles and your feet just feel like they've had a great massage. It's not that. By enhanced sensory feedback, I mean just using your body as it was intended and understanding the feedback that all the little muscles in your feet are giving you as you move around. And that just gives you a better idea of where you are in space. This is a concept that, 5 years ago would have been completely foreign to me. Because I didn't really do any exercise consistently or any functional exercise consistently, I had no idea where my body was in space. And it's even harder to have an idea where your body is in space when you've got big pillowed shoes, because you're kind of wobbling around all over the place. So barefoot shoes keep you obviously planted, fixed, on the floor, and I felt my kind of ability to change direction and balance just improve immensely through using barefoot shoes. And that obviously is even more important when you're doing kind of CrossFit style workouts and weight bearing workouts. Obviously, I mentioned I do a lot of kettlebells, and you really want your feet planted to the floor so you have a really strong structure to be doing your kettlebell swings. So that's been a massive benefit of barefoot shoes, and it's why I love wearing them even around the house. I find that I even find that I can move around in a more agile way in the house, which is actually kind of amazing, and I love that feeling. So even wear them around the house, to be honest. It also ties into my theories around the body being a complex adaptive system, and if you kind of change part of that system so that it doesn't work in the way it was intended, it impacts the whole system. And I think this is most evident in the fact that I feel like barefoot shoes actually fix your posture. Most normal shoes, particularly work shoes, actually come with what they call a drop. Basically, the heel is higher than the front. And barefoot shoes are obviously zero drop. They're completely flat. You have no drop at all. And I think what that drop actually does is it kind of pushes you forward, upsets your posture, and it's not your natural posture. So I feel like you end up with hunched shoulders, you're kind of hunching down. And as soon as you put on barefoot shoes, your heels are firmly planted on the ground and you're kind of up like this. And you can feel your whole chest opening up, your shoulders are back because the center of gravity is behind you. And I feel like that is just such a benefit, probably one that's not very well documented. So yeah, fixes your posture. And this is all backed up in Kelly Starlett's book, Built to Move, where he has a section on barefoot exercises. He talks about how often some of the best mobility exercises like yoga and Tai Chi are all done barefoot, and that's utilizing this natural kind of sensory feedback from the foot. And these are obviously ancient exercises and ancient forms of movement that people have been doing for ages, and they obviously recognize the wisdom of doing them all barefoot. And yeah, he ratifies that point that it basically helps your brain understand exactly where you are in space and adapt accordingly. So yeah, those are my top 3 reasons for still wearing barefoot shoes after 4 years. Interestingly, I haven't really noticed a difference in the shape of my feet. That I'm still waiting for. But I basically wear barefoot shoes whenever I can now, and if possible, I go full barefoot. That is one of the main perks of working from home, even though I have started wearing barefoot shoes around the office. I haven't had too many comments yet, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like to hear more from me, why not check out this video here. Thanks.